This won't take long. The guy will tell the parole board he wants out. The arresting officer, that's me, will tell them that he's an animal. And then they'll put him back in for another year.
Well, if it's a foregone conclusion, why go through the exercise?
Because this is a democracy.
What's making you so edgy today?
What are you talking about edgy? That's me. I always got edge.
It's not every day you check your cell phone instead of your gun. Thank you kindly.
While incarcerated, my client, Mr. Carver, earned a PhD in chemistry. Oh, and a master's in mechanical engineering from Northwestern University.
This is one sick dude.
I'm sure he is.
You can tell he's bad news just by looking at him.
Well, actually, Ray, I think he seems presentable.
This program
And how do you know it's bad news?
Because you said it was bad news.
Mr. Carver also helped to reorganize the prison library. Now, he gets full marks in every evaluation as a well-behaved model prisoner. Now, if the word rehabilitation does not apply to my client, then I think maybe we should just remove it from the dictionary.
Charles Carver is a vicious predator who should not be put back on the street.
Predator? His records show only one arrest and conviction for arson.
He's lived with a series of women.
Hardly a crime.
One of whom is missing and the other who is dead. Now, we've never nailed this turkey for any of those...
Excuse me, but Detective Vecchio is completely out of line. My client has never been accused of, never mind arrested, for any other crime.
Detective Vecchio, as the arresting officer, has spent time with this prisoner.
Which produced no further charges. Look, are we going to start incarcerating people based on groundless accusations?
I would like the chance to show Detective Vecchio that I've learned a great deal while in prison, and that he greatly underestimates this turkey.
Thanks for driving me by here, Ray. Apparently there was a special request that someone from the Canadian consulate pay a visit.
To a building that hasn't been built yet?
That wasn't mentioned, no.
Who made the request?
I don't know. Perhaps there was some kind of miscommunication. Vecchio. Yeah, all right, I'm all over it. Well, just got a call. Building up the street.
Inside. I'll make more tea.
Thank you, Kyle.
Hey, Maddie, what's going on?
Hey,
We got a call to this address on a 634.2.
yeah, in the bathroom. Hi.
Hi. Excuse us. Ray, what exactly is a 634.2?
Turkey in the shower?
I didn't see it. It seemed like it sort of grabbed me, and I sort of freaked.
Understandably.
All right, Maddie. If you don't mind, we're gonna have to ask you a few questions.
Is there anybody in your life who's a practical joker?
No.
Any weirdos or creeps that have a crush on you?
The hours that I work, it's pretty much no guys.
Right. Well, Benny, I guess you're gonna want to lick it.
Why's that, Ray?
See where it came from.
Well, it's obvious. It came from a supermarket. It's a standard frozen turkey, self-basting.
Yeah. Looks like we're not gonna get any fingerprints on it.
I think that's unlikely.
No obvious signs of forced entry. You know, Maddie, I'm gonna have a team come down and take a look around if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I get sent to this neighborhood by an inauthentic call. Coincidentally, you receive a call that sends you to a nearby apartment, which coincidentally belongs to an assistant state's attorney who attended a parole hearing, during which, coincidentally, you called the prisoner a turkey.
Carver.
So we can arrest him.
For what? Assault with poultry?
Very heavy giblets.
Toy bus.
Line 28.
That's the Kenwood bus. Maddie, don't be alone today.
Thank you kindly.
It started with a young woman named Katie Banks. We found her body under a bridge. She'd been living with Carver. She bought him a car, a stereo, and a computer with her family money. And then he shacked up with a woman 15 years older. She ended up dead, but after putting Carver in her will.
And what was the cause of death?
Accidental. At least that's all we could show. This guy is cruel. He gets inside their heads.
So you think it's possible that he drove her to kill herself that made it look like an accident?
It's possible. Then within weeks, he found Helen Harris. Now, Miss Harris was willing to talk to us about the physical and psychological abuse, but she disappeared. And then we got lucky. The building burned down that he had an interest in, and I scoured the scene and I found a heel of a shoe that matched one that I found at his townhouse.
So he slipped up?
The only time. Now, we couldn't get him for what he did to those women, but we were able to put him away for a few years. He was furious, screaming it was a bum rap. It made him nuts that he got caught. Here's our bus.
Kenwood?
You got it. Nice move. What the? Damn it!
No break?
Go! Accelerator! Stuck! Everybody hang on!
All right, Ray, you know this area?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to find somewhere nice and soft to land in.
In the middle of the city?
I think Goose Down or Shaving Creek.
Shaving cream? You think somebody's gonna have a pile of shaving cream piled up somewhere in the middle of the
No, Ray,
city?
we're brainstorming. Do you have a city map?
There!
All right, I got it here. E4.
All right, we're gonna be coming up into some serious traffic and then a dead end.
Yeah, I see it. Grandin Road. Okay, think Teach.
Sawdust.
Water. Lake Michigan.
Hold on!
Well done, sir.
Thank you. Now what are we gonna do when we get to the lake?
Keep going.
Okay, take your time. Easy. Watch the water. Easy. That's it. Lori?
Ray!
How are you?
I'm all right.
Hey, Benny. I'd like you to meet my first partner, Lori Zahler.
Hi.
Geez, I haven't seen you since you quit the force.
Yeah, well, I pretty much stayed away from all the old places. The point was a calmer lifestyle, less excitement.
Do you ride this bus every day?
Every day.
At the same time?
Yeah.
Vecchio.
How did you do, Detective?
Did you figure it out by yourself, or did you get help?
You've blown it this time.
Blown it?
No, Detective. Blowing it is for next time.
Well, I'm not saying I won't accompany you, Ray. I mean, obviously, I am accompanying you. I'm just suggesting that you act with restraint, not out of pure emotion.
If I was acting out of pure emotion, I would just kill the guy. So anything you see short of that is a model of restraint.
Remember that.
Detective Vecchio. Well,
Violating your parole within hours of being let out, how smart is that? Endangering the lives of 30 individuals and then calling up to take credit for it, how smart is that? And since you have to register with the parole officer and we're going to know where you are every minute of every day, how smart is that?
Ray.
What's he done to you?
He's tutoring me in chemistry.
pure torture for some.
It's Avogadro's number, Ray. It's standard in any high school chemistry class.
I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Constable Benton Fraser, Royal Canadian.
Canadian Mounted Police. Yes, I know. I love the Mounties.
Well, thank you.
Don't be thanking him.
Sorry.
There must be some logical explanation for why you're going around on duty with a Chicago policeman.
Curious, possibly, but logical, no.
A refreshing openness. A quality local law enforcement is sorely lacking. I was arrested and convicted for a crime I didn't commit.
There was physical evidence.
False evidence. Could I have been as stupid as they suggest?
You know, Mr. Carver, even the brightest light bulbs burn out.
Indeed. But is it not possible that your friend here crossed the line and framed an innocent man?
That's enough, Carver.
I hope so. And unless the Chicago Police Department has a problem with the teaching of high school science, Shannon and I have a great deal of material to get through.
Save it for someone who cares.
So we're raiding chemistry classes now, huh, Vecchio? Trying to combat this vicious epidemic of people trying to improve their minds in the city of Chicago.
That wasn't the purpose, sir.
Well, good. So there was a reason for you to upset this law-abiding North Side student.
This guy is dirty, Lieutenant. He's out of control. He's going to hurt somebody.
I think it's time to check around, see who is out of control.
All right, fine. Let's put a watch on him.
All right. I'll put a team on it. But you got to nail him for something a little more serious than giving too much homework.
Detective Vecchio's mobile office.
He available?
Yeah.
A full-bore Carver stakeout. I'm impressed, Detective.
Don't be.
This will make for a very solid Carver alibi, now won't it?
Depends on what you're planning.
You're in your car, aren't you, Detective? I'm surprised you let your timing get out of adjustment like that.
Make your move, pal. Let's get this over with tonight.
Good night socks, good night clocks.
Good night room and good night moon.
Yeah.
When you drive your car this morning, you'll find the timing improved.
When a couple of those belts and hoses were shot, so it just made sense to replace them. Basic stuff. Simple maintenance. You should keep on top of this, Detective.
aren't even going to say thank you?
Did you notice also the car had been detailed?
You can kiss your parole goodbye, Carver.
Is it against the law to do something nice for someone? Do you want the old hoses put back? And the timing made bad again? Do you like dirt
On the car?
Constable Frazier, Frank Greco is visiting us from the state's attorney's office. He specializes in police officer-related misconduct. So he'd like to ask you a couple of questions about Detective Vecchio.
Detective Vecchio was a fine officer. I have never worked with better. You know how committed he is.
We all know how committed he is. That's what I need to learn more about.
Is that a problem?
He seems to be taking the Carver case very personally.
Well, Carver has made it very personal.
What's your assessment of Detective Vecchio's current frame of mind?
I'm sorry, Detective Vecchio is my colleague and my friend.
Yes?
As a consequence, I really can't participate in this.
That's your election.
Yes, I know. And I elect not to participate. Thank you. Have you seen Detective Vecchio?
Nope, haven't seen him, but feel free to have a seat at his desk. Benton.
Thank you.
What is it with you guys? Let that bozo slip right by you.
What's that?
It was on your desk.
Put it down. No more games.
Ray, do you know anyone with a boat called Bookham?
Yeah, Will Kelly. He was here before Welsh, retired to fish up on the river. He's my first supervisor.
Huey, call the sheriff up there. Let's go. Will Kelly was the best. Everybody looked up to him. He was like, I don't know, imagine your dad.
I understand.
For some reason, he thought I could do this job, that I could be really good at it. It's because of him I made detective when I did.
I've heard his name mentioned.
They still quote him today. A good cop is never wet and never hungry. Interrogation is a contact sport. And all suspects are guilty of something.
Let me write that down.
Detective Vecchio, Vince Corey.
Yeah, how you doing? Benton Frazier.
Hey, that's a smart color for hunting season. Wish I could get everybody else to take the same precautions.
Thank you.
Where's Kelly?
Look, I've walked all around this area. Everything seems to be in order.
Where's his boat? It's a rough day to be on the water.
Sure is.
Kelly's boat, call for help.
Right, if the current brought this in, then upstream.
You got here at the right time, Constable.
Thank you.
It's a good thing you brought this fellow along, Ray. He knew right where to look.
I'm sure Detective Vecchio would have made the same determination.
The engine just blew. There's been a spark in the fuel system.
Or a bomb.
A bomb?
Yeah, you remember Charles Carver? We took him down when you were my supervisor.
Yeah, we sent him up for...
Arson, but we could have had him on those other charges, too. Fraud, possibly homicide.
Yeah, I certainly remember you felt that way, Ray.
Well, he's out on parole. He's going after anybody who had anything to do with this case. It seems he wants the world to think he was framed.
You had him, didn't you, Ray?
Hello?
Francesca Vecchio?
Oh, they're beautiful.
From Ray.
Ray remembered my birthday? You gotta be kidding.
Is there somewhere you'd like me to put these?
Sure.
Right here?
No, let me just grab a trivet. God, they're fabulous.
Well, he must know how lucky he is to have such a pretty girl.
No, Ray's my brother.
And then the flowers from your husband can't be far behind.
I'm not married.
So the little ones...
My sisters. I don't have kids.
Oh. What a darling face.
Hey, darling.
You take her out for a breath of air?
Yeah, well, her mom's gonna take her down to see the clown by the lake if it doesn't get too cold.
Well, let's hope the weather holds. Bye now.
Say bye. Bye.
Very stop.
You gotta be kidding me. There's gotta be 100,000 of those in Chicago. Vecchio.
Hey! What got into you? That was so incredibly sweet.
What are you talking about?
The flowers you sent.
Trying to get everybody in. Ma and Maria, the kids were on their way.
Maria's out with the baby.
It's not people related to the bus that he's after. It's people related to me.
Don't miss that one. What's the best word, boys and girls? Oh, that's right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. It's a little doggy. You like the doggy? Look what I can do. Excuse me. Can I help you? Hey,
Pardon me? Excuse me.
Hey!
Sorry, that.
Juliet! Hey! What are you looking for?
Excuse me.
Don't get away from here! Hey! What's that? Hey, hey!
All right, good. Phone works. Now listen, don't call me, all right? Ma, don't call me. I'll check in with you every hour, all right? All right. Be careful.
Bye.